Hello everyone. So I welcome you all for the course Engineering Metrology. Today's class deals the introduction of limits, fits, and tolerances, and what are the reasons for the variations of the sizes. So in this, the contents are like this: the recap of the lecture 1, and we are going to explain the concept of accuracy and precision, and then introduction to the limits. What are the reasons for the size variation? And then we are concluding with a summary. So metrology is a science of measurement which deals with the measurement of size, positions, and forms. So metrology is concerned with the establishment of the units of measurement and the standards and the methods of measurement, and deals with the different kinds of measuring instruments. So engineering metrology used in the various fields like building the mission tools, automobile engineering, biomedical engineering, space applications, building science, marine science, healthcare, military, defense, nuclear, and welding industries. So this is what we covered in the lecture 1. So in the lecture 2, so we are going to cover the concept of accuracy and precision. So before going to cover this concept of accuracy and precision, so let me give the introduction of limits, fits, and tolerances. So limits, fits, and tolerances is a very important topic in the field of in the subject engineering metrology for the discussion. So initially the people started producing the things, so they followed the mass customization. So in the mass customization, the manufacturers has to meet the customer, and manufacturer has to understand all his requirements, and then the manufacturer has to put the thought process on it, and then the manufacturer has to convert the thought process into a very rough drawing, and these rough drawings are used for producing the products, and then give it back to the customer. So this is what actually been done in the mass customization. So in the mass customization, the manufacturer has to meet the or use it to meet the customer, and he understand all the requirements of the customer, and then he put the thought process on it, and convert into a very rough drawing. Then he produce the products based on the rough drawing, and then the produced products are given back to the customers. So that is the mass customization. So the advantage of the mass customization is the manufacturer could be listen to the voice of the customer, and produce the products as per the requirement of the customer. So in this, what are the disadvantages of this mass customization is, one is the we cannot produce in large volume. We cannot produce the products in large volume. And another one is the number of artisans available to listen or understand the requirements of the customer, and also it takes more time, and also the skills of the operators are also required. So later on, the scenario slowly changed. The scenario was in manufacturing, the people thought that let us start making the production rather than the mass customization. So the scenario was producing the products in large volume rather than the mass customization. And let us keep on producing the things, and let us make the cost come as low as possible and try to cater the needs of the customer. So here the customization was not given the priority, but production and giving the product at economical price was the priority. So if this happens, so the complete product manufacturing could not happen at one umbrella. So the products may be produced at different locations on different machines or on different countries. So what happens? You can take a male part from the one country and a female part from the another country, and matching to a particular both of these things match to a particular drawing. So they were able to produce up to the drawings, and then assembly could happen at a different place. They could produce. So the people moved from mass customization to mass production. So in mass production, it is very clear the drawing has to be made as per the uh, properly, and whatever it is given in the drawing, that has to be produced. So the manufacturer need not to worry about the other parts of the product, and he has to worry about his product or part only. So once they see a drawing, and once they start producing the things or parts, then the responsibility of the manufacturer arises, and he has to validate his product or part whether it meets the requirement or not. So if this is the case, so we are supposed to understand what is limits, fits, and tolerances. So how the one part produced in one country, another part may be produced in another location, and they are assembled at one place. How this could be happen? So this could be happen because of by providing some leverage to the parts. So in then naturally what happens? So within this error, if you produce a part, so in that counterpart same is also done, then it gets assembled. So this is very important topic. So this made a revolution in manufacturing. So this made mass production and economical products comes into the market. So this is the importance of limits, fits, and tolerances. So we need to understand the limits, fits, and tolerances. So in order to understand how the products are produced at different countries are going to assemble at another country. Maybe the customer may be the other country. So next we will cover the concept of accuracy and precision. As per the dictionary language, the accuracy and precision are uh, can be used interchangeably. But in the manufacturing point of view, accuracy and precision are completely different. So in order to explain the accuracy and precision, so we will consider, let us bullseye. So this is the bull's eye, and the shooter has to shoot within the bullseye. So here in the first case, the shooter is shooting very close to outside of the bullseye. So all the uh, bullets are shooted at the outside of the bullseye, but all the time the shooter shooting very close to the another bullet. So that means the shooter is precisely shooting. So that means it is very precise, but they are not accurate. So if you apply this to the manufacturing industry, so this is the machine, so which has to produce the precise and accurate parts. But this machine is producing the precise parts, but not accurate parts. So this may be, let us, the accurate product dimension is, let us 30, we want to produce 30 mm. But this machine is always producing 30 point, let us 2 mm, 30 point, let us 3 mm. So 30 point, let us to 5 mm. So it is deviating from the accuracy. Okay, but the products produced by this machine is very precise products. So again, if you come back to the shooter example, so if you provide some spectacles to him, so he can able to shoot at the center of the bullseye. So by providing the spectacles. Similarly, by making some modifications to the machine, so we can produce the products with precisely and accurately. Similar to, coming to the second case, so in this, the shooter, let us, if you consider the shooter case, the shooter is hitting or shooting the bullets within the bullseye, but they are shooting random in locations. So similar to if you apply the manufacturing industry, so this machine is producing the parts accurately, but not precisely. So because there is some randomness is involved, and the manufacturer has to look into this one to come to the process to precision. Coming to the third one, so here the shooter is precisely hitting and accurately shooting. So if you apply to the machine, so this machine is producing the parts very precisely as well as accurately producing the parts. Coming to the fourth one, so this one is if you apply the shooter is shooting away from the bullseye, and also they are very far away from the bullseye. So all the bullets are wasteless. All the bullets are wasted. So in this case, similarly, the mesh, if you apply to the machine, so this machine is producing the parts which are completely scrap. So we understood what is the precision and what is the accuracy. So we can define accuracy is the degree to which the measured value of the quality characteristic agrees with the true value. So that is the error. Error is equal to, so measured value minus true value. So the difference between the measured value and the true value is called the error. If you want to calculate the percentage error, right, the difference between the measured value and the true value divided by its true value multiplied by 100, which gives the percentage error. So we understood that the accuracy means it is the degree to which the measured value of the quality characteristic agrees with the true value. And what is precision? Precision is the repeatability or reproducibility of the manufacturing process. So in the first figure and in the third figure, here there is a repeatability, or so the shooter is always reproducing, or the machine is repeatedly producing the same things, same products. That is called the repeat precision. Precision is the repeatability or reproducibility of the manufacturing process. Next, so how the accuracy and cost is related. So the relationship between the cost and accuracy is given graphically. So this is the curve which shows the accuracy and cost. So if you want to increase the accuracy, the manufacturing cost is also increases. So in order to increase the accuracy, we need to adopt the more number of processes, or we need to increase the capacity of the machines. So in turn increases the manufacturing cost. As the accuracy, if you relax the accuracy, automatically the cost of manufacturing also decreases. So the accuracy and the cost follows the relationship exponentially. So there is an exponential relationship between the accuracy and the cost. Next, coming to the limits. So when we want to assemble the two machine parts, let us, if we consider the nut and bolt, right? So in order to assemble these two parts, nut and bolt, so the nut has some accuracy and bolt also should be produced with the accuracy. So otherwise, it is very difficult to assemble them. So no two parts can be produced with identical measurements by any manufacturing process. Always there is some variations on the produced products. Why? Because a manufacturing process essentially comprises 5 M's. That is, man is involved, machine is involved, materials are involved, money is involved, and management is involved. Suppose if variations in either man, or that is operator, or machine, or materials, maybe tool wear or defective raw materials, induce a change in the manufacturing process. So all these men, machine, and materials are subjected to natural and characteristic variations. So in any production process, regardless of how well it is designed or how carefully it is maintained, so a certain amount of natural variability will always exist. So the natural variations are random in nature, and they are cumulative effect of many small, essentially uncontrollable causes. So natural variations are very small, but altogether the variations have many small, essentially uncontrollable causes. So unfortunately, due to inaccuracy in the manufacturing methods, it is almost impossible to make a part with the exact dimensions. Hence, it is necessary for us to allow some deviation in the dimensions of the mating components. So, the deviations are provided to the on the basic size of the part or nominal size. So, what is nominal size? The exact dimension is known as basic or nominal size. The two extreme permissible sizes of a part between which the actual dimension is contained are called limits. So the limits have the maximum deviation and the minimum deviation. So the maximum deviation is called the upper limit and the minimum deviation is called the lower limit. So the maximum allowed size is known as the upper limit and the minimum size allowed is known as the lower limit. So no component can be manufactured precisely to a given dimension. So it can be made to lie between two limits, that is called upper and lower limit, or maximum deviation and minimum deviation. So why these variations are occurring? Why no component can be manufactured precisely to a given dimension? So there is some variations. There are some variations in the machines. The reasons for size variation. So one is inaccuracies in the geometric accuracy geometry of the machine tool. Inaccuracy in the geometry of the machine tool and workpiece produce the variations in the sizes. So let us, if you consider this figure, this is the milling machine, this is the table, and this is the spindle. So spindle may not be perpendicular to the table surface. There is some, 1 degree variation, 1 degree variation, 1 degree inclination with the table surface. So this produces the variations in the sizes of the parts. Similarly, the rotation of the spindle may not be perpendicular to the table surface. This also causes the variations in the dimensions of the components. Similarly, here there is a check axis of the headstock center and the axis of the tailstock center are not aligned. So because of this, the parts may be produced drum-shaped products, or maybe products may be produced like this, or the components may be produced taper shape. Parallelism of spindle movement with the lathe axis. So there is a saddle, there is a axis of the lathe. So axis of the lathe and the saddle may not parallel to the each other. So in this case, this produces the causes the inaccuracies in the produced part. Similarly, straightness of guideways. So guideways, these are the guideways. These guideways are not straight. There may be some variations on the guideways. So this causes the inaccuracies in the production of the parts. There are reasons for size variations. One is the deflection of the workpiece. So this is the, if in the first case, this figure shows the without deflection. deflection. So this is ideal machining. Shows the ideal machining. So here this is the workpiece, and this is the cutting tool. The cutting tool applies some force on the workpiece, so which causes the workpiece to bend like this, or due to self weight. Due to self weight, the beam will bend like this. So this after machining, so when it spring back to its original position, so it gives the inaccuracies in the dimensions of the component. Similarly, forced vibration and chatter. So due to the vibration of the cutting tool, so it produces the chatter marks on the workpiece, which produce the rough surface. So there is an inaccuracy in the part dimensions. Similarly, there is another reason why the variation of size means there is a tool deflection. So we are applying the cutting force at the tip of the cutting tool, and one end is fixed, so which causes the tool to bend, that produces the rough surface like this. Rough surface due to tool deflection. Similarly, tool wear. So there is a plastic deformation of the tool tip. Plastic deformation of the tool tip causes the variation in the dimensions of the component. Similarly, edge chipping causes the variations in the dimensions. Thermal crack on the tool tip due to thermal cracks, which causes the changes in the dimensions of the components. Similarly, flank wear also causes the changes in the dimensions of the components, or which causes not to produce the parts to the accurate. There is another reason due to location in fixtures. So the operator uses the different jigs and fixtures for locating and holding up the workpieces. If this fixture is not located properly, so this causes the variations in the dimensions of the part. Similarly, error due to clamping. So this is the table surface. On the table surface, there are two parallels are provided. On the parallels, there is a workpiece, and in this case, the clamps are used for holding up the workpiece. But in the second case, this parallel table and the parallels are placed over that workpiece is placed, but due to undue pressure applied onto the clamps, so this workpiece is bent. Workpiece is in bent shape. So when you machine over the workpiece, and then after removing the workpiece from the clamps and the parallels, it produces the inaccuracies in the dimensions. Similarly, the slide wave friction also causes the inaccuracies in the produced part. Actual thread axis. So the thread axis is, this is the tool axis, and this is the thread axis. So these two are not aligned. There is some variation in the axis, so which causes the inaccuracies in the produced parts, because this is the alignment errors. And there is a structural deformation due to varying loads. So here some cutting force is acting on the structure of the column, so which causes to deflect away from the original position. So this causes the inaccuracies in the inaccuracies in producing the parts. And there is another reason, there is a thermal deformation due to heat generation. So workpieces are subjected to expansion and contraction owing to thermal effects. So variation in temperature of the machining environment during machining operations can affect the size and location of parts and features. Suppose let us we have the workpiece, and this workpiece is on this workpiece. So let us first we performed an operation, then let us milling operation. So upon completion of the milling operation, immediately the workpiece is shifted to the drilling operation, and then 2 holes are drilled, and we need to we need to maintain, let us distance is x. So by keeping the distance x, we drilled the 2 holes. So after cooling, if you measure the distance, this may not be x. This dimension is less than x. This dimension is less than x. So there is a change in the dimensions due to thermal deformation. Similarly, in the NC machines, so we have the input interpolation errors, staircase effect. Due to interpolation error, so there is a staircase effect. Similarly, servo system errors causes the inaccuracies, dead zone effect, feed drive stiffness, positioning errors of the drives are unavoidable and can have a considerable influence on the quality of workpieces. And there is a thermal drift is primarily caused by feed access on the basis of recirculating ball screws. The temperature distribution along the ball screw can rapidly change as a result of the feed rates and the moving forces. So this is the today's lecture. So in this we covered the what is the introduction to the limits, fits and tolerances, and we covered the concept of accuracy and precision, and what is the relationship between the manufacturing cost versus the accuracy of the production, and and deals, and we discussed the limits, upper limit and the lower limits, and what are the reasons for the size variation. One is inaccuracies in the geometry of the machine tools, and due to deflection of the workpiece causes the inaccuracies, and deflection, tool wear, and error due to location and fixtures, clamping of the fixtures, error due to clamping, and slide way friction, alignment errors, and structural deformation due to varying loads, and errors in the NC machine tools, and thermal deformation. So with this, so we are stopping this lecture, and we'll continue in the we'll continue in the lecture 3.